There are several things I'm covering on this video. I hope you watch to the end. There's something for people that are watching just to ride along with us. There is a discussion on us choosing loads, how we choose them, and why we choose the ones that we do, and why we have the method. And it's all based on where we want to go and how we want to run. So watch that if you're interested in expediting and see how we do what we do. And I hope you enjoy. Here we go. Good morning. It is Tuesday. Tuesday, the 5th of March, 2019. We have to go get that baby right there replaced. New one's right here. There's a new unit. I thought I saw some that were smaller as the new unit, but evidently I didn't. It's just now powering up. I just fired the truck up. So, it's 15 minutes till 7. We have a 9 o'clock appointment in Charlotte. So we're headed there to get that replaced out at Carolina Caterpillar. They're an authorized Omnitrax dealer. So, yeah, here comes Nanny. She's got my coffee. And we got to fold the bed up and everything when we get there. We got to find out what they need to access, and then we'll be able to get it done. All right, we'll talk to you along the way. Well, guys, we've been here an hour and a half. We were 30 minutes early. Our appointment's at 9. It is now 10:03, and the service guy is still not ready for us. They made our appointment for 9, and here it is 10 o'clock, and they still haven't seen us. We went there and asked how long it's going to be. It shouldn't be much longer. But if we'd have been 1 minute late, they probably would have canceled our appointment. Caterpillar. This is part of doing what we're doing, but I swear, this is crazy. We're losing money. I mean, I'm not saying there's loads on the board that we can grab and go, but I mean, we anticipated being able to get back home in a timely manner, load the van up, get ready to roll, because we had to take everything out of here. If you're getting into this business, you'll soon learn. There'll be some waiting times. We don't have to wait much, and I don't know if it's because it's FedEx Custom Critical or whatever, but we very seldom do we have to wait to get seen when we go into a pickup or a delivery. When we pull up, tell them we're here, it's no longer than 10 minutes we ever waited, has it?
No.
Yeah, to pick up or deliver. They're like, bam, they take it right off our truck. I don't know if that's got anything to do with Custom Critical or not, or if it's just because of what we have. But only one time we've had to wait, and that was waiting to pick up because it wasn't ready to go yet. So, yep, so, all right, we'll touch back later. Oh, man, we got done. They kept us there 5 hours. Pissed us off. I mean, I'm here to tell you right now. Charlotte Caterpillar, up on Statesville Road. Don't go there. You need work done to anything you've got. They were rude to us. They took forever. We had a 9 o'clock appointment, and we ended up there at 8:30, and they finally took our van at 11 o'clock. And then we went to the waiting room, the customer break room, or whatever you want to call it, and sat there another 2 hours before we finally said anything. And come to find out,
you want to get your cigarettes there?
Yeah. Come to find out, they were in a meeting after lunch meeting. And so I asked him how long for the van, and he's like, it won't be long, it's almost done. Well, they got finished, and Amy asked how long for the van. He said 2 minutes, fix and pull it out. He was done with the damn thing when they went in there to the meeting. He was done when they went to lunch. Man, I'll tell you what. All right, we'll see you.
We got it?
All righty. Yeah, we got it. I'm going to take this little short run, Lumberton to Sanford. We don't know who it is we're picking up at. It might be that same shipping yard. Can't remember what it is. Conway or something like that. I'll know in a minute when I open up our new Sealink. Check that thing out. That's the new one. But anyway, it's Wednesday. We don't really care for these short runs. But man, we haven't been running anything because we're not going into all this bad weather. You know, that is the choice. I'm going to do a video coming up shortly on how we choose our loads and why we choose the loads that we do choose. Because with FedEx Custom Critical, you're not forced dispatch. You're a contractor, you can come and go as you please. So, I mean, we have rules and regulations to follow, but they're pretty good about, you know, letting us pick our loads. So, and I mean, if they really need you to cover something, they'll actually call you and say, you know, can I talk you into it? What's it going to take, you know? So, but anyway, let me get this paperwork filled out, and I'll be back with you to take you along for some of the ride. We'll discuss some things. All right, later. Alrighty, we're here. It is that Conway or XPO Logistics. But I'm going to get into, when we get on the road, I'm going to get into how we choose our loads and why we choose the loads that we choose. How we, how we come up with our plan. And so let us get this thing loaded up. All right, we're picked up and loaded. It's a done deal. So most of the time these loads aren't going to cancel. So anyway, we'll be back in a minute. Okay, we're at our pickup. Our drop off, I'm sorry. We're at our drop, and a load from Sumter, South Carolina to Decatur, one that we normally run, came up. I accepted it. I don't know if we're going to get it or not because we can't get to the pickup on time, but that's at a location that the time can be bumped. And we've left all of our stuff at home. My computer's sitting at home. Everything's at home. But normally if we take a load up there on a Wednesday, we drop it on a Thursday, we usually get back home by Saturday. So, this is because the weather's been screwing things up, them Sumter runs ain't been coming up. But this is only one piece, 500 pounds, our kind of load. I know exactly where it's picking up because of the because of what it is. This is one of those loads where I told you, we will run it. So I put in for it, let's see what happens. I hope we get it, I really do. So, all right, here comes Amy, we're fixing to get unloaded. She went in, that's all she has to do here is just go in and check in. The girl signs the paperwork, and then we roll down here to the dock, to the ramp, and we'll back up into the building, and then they'll take it off, and it's just like wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, that quick. All right, talk to you. We got to run to Sumter, South Carolina. From Sumter to Decatur, Illinois. We got that run. And now we're like 35 miles from there, and we hit a detour. There's a bridge out. And so it's taking us a big roundabout to get past that bridge. And of course, we got local slow people in front of us going like they're afraid to drive. They're probably drinking and driving. I see so much of that, local people back here in the country. We're in the country too. Look at that mansion out there. There you can see it. It's a mansion. What is this here? Collegiate school. So, in the middle of nowhere. That's what today's been. Nowhere day. We've been driving all damn morning and we're going nowhere. Oh well. Alrighty. So we're going to get this load. We'll see you shortly. Alright. Loaded up and trucking. 461 pounds. And it rides good. It's still a little light back there though. 461. Going to Decatur, Illinois. Gotta love it, gotta love it. We're just get back in the game, y'all. Let's get back in the game. So anyway, we got like 2 videos going here. I'm gonna incorporate those into one. Keep watching, you'll see the second half of it. It's second half's gonna be about why we choose the loads we choose, how we choose them, and why we choose them that way. So, but keep on watching, and you'll see that come up. What's going on here? Somebody smoking something. Oh God! I farted. Are you recording? Why we pick the loads we choose and how we decide which ones to run. We have a thing between us that if we both can't say instantly that, yeah, let's run this run, then we don't take it. That's the very first thing. We both have to be on board with agreeing to take this load. That's the very main thing we do. The next thing we do is look where it's going. depending on where it's going, how easy it is to get loads out of that area. And in order to know how things are going in a certain area, you got to watch the load board for FedEx. You got to know what's coming up and what's going in and out of there, and how often things are coming out of there, not necessarily going in. So that's the next thing, where it's picking up, where it's dropping off. Then the next thing is the deadhead. How much deadhead is involved in going to get this run? Because being that we're with FedEx, Custom Critical, they only pay the first 17 unless they call you with the offer, and then first 75. I'm sorry, at 15 cents a mile, and then unless they call you with the offer, and then when they call you, they'll pay 15 cents a mile for the entire deadhead if they call you to offer you the run. But if you accept it off the load board, you accept it at face value, which is only 15 cents a mile for the first 75 miles. The rest of it, you eat that. And so you have to take the loaded miles and the deadhead miles, the total miles, add those miles together to get your total miles, and then you pick the total pay and divide that by the total miles, and then that'll give you how much per mile you're making. And right now, last year we averaged 81 or 82.4 or 84.2 or something. It was over 80 cents a mile is what we averaged for the entire year, and we did 101 or 99. It wasn't 100. It was either 99 runs or 101 runs last year, and most of those runs were over 750 miles. I would say 75 to 80% of them were over 750 mile runs. So, and we're talking about some 1,100 mile runs, some 1,500 mile runs in there. We had very few short runs. We didn't run any short runs last year, less than 10. The next thing we do is look at the weight. That's the last thing we do, is look at the weight. But the weight is going to be a factor. And then once I see everything that's on this run, and it's kind of like it has to happen really quick. Sorry, I was looking at my new C-Link down there having a message. It's a fleet message. So let me pull up the load board. Got no signal, so it may not come up. Okay, so after everything, we look at where it's going. Look at the deadhead. Look at both of us agree that it's an okay run. Well, the load board did come up, and then we look at the weight, and all this has to happen really fast because the load is going to get accepted by somebody really quick. So I had to open the load board, look at the run. I had to say, okay, it's dropping off in Durham, North Carolina. Okay, now I'm close to Cincinnati because that's where it's picking up. Dropping off in North Carolina. Deadhead is this much. Okay, it's paying this much. The weight is 180 pounds. I'm all over this thing. I'm all over it because it's dropping off in Durham. That's an hour from home. If I don't get another run, I'll go home. So, anytime, no matter where we are, if we need to go toward the house, which is always the best for us to do, being that we're lazy expediters, we take it. We'll accept that run. If it's going close to the house, within 100 miles, you have to fight me to get me off of it. But if we want to stay out for a week or so and not worrying about coming in, and we're fixing to do that, we're fixing to have everything, our yearly stuff's fixing to all be buttoned up. But if we want to go out and stay for a week or two, then it really doesn't matter where we end up, just as long as we end up somewhere, because then we're moving. But we still look at that is when we look at not so much the deadhead, but where it's dropping off and how much it weighs. We don't like to put more than 1,500 pounds in here. It rides really well between 800 and 1,300 pounds. That's when it rides really well. It doesn't ride well empty because it's not built to be empty. It's built to be loaded. Let me run it down to you. We both agree on a run. Now we can negotiate the facts about the run. How much deadhead is it? Is it feasible to pick it up? If that deadhead puts us below 75 cents a mile, we will not take that run. Very seldom will you see us taking a run if it's going below 75 cents a mile.
Unless it's taking us somewhere we want to go.
Unless it's taking us somewhere that we want to go or we have to go. So that's a big factor. That's a big factor. Let me see. We've agreed to accept the load if it's going where we want to go. The money is right. It's above 75 cents a mile or 75 and above. And it's going somewhere we want to go, or we're okay going. Loads are okay coming in and out of there, or close enough that a deadhead ain't gonna kill us going to get going to get another load after the drop. And the weight is right. The weight's right. If it's going where we need to go, I'll take 2,500 pounds. We have, but I don't like it. I don't like putting that much weight in here. It costs us more in fuel. But most of our loads don't weigh that much anyway. You know, unless we're picking up hydraulic cylinders or something. Those things are kind of heavy. Okay, so there's another factor too that we play into it, is after we drop a load, deciding where to lay over, waiting on the next load. Then I use an option that we have with FedEx to check our capacity in certain areas. So I know a lot of the codes. I have a list of the codes that I don't know, but I know a lot of the codes because I do it all the time. And I'll base our layover spot. We might move 100 miles from a drop to lay over somewhere based on who is in a certain area. So if I call and there's like four vans checked in to that area, or to what they call it, express centers, and there's no team, and it's a good area, then I'll shoot on into that area. I'll change an express center in a minute based on capacity, and it usually works. It usually works. There's a way I use that capacity and the load board together to see if I want to take a run. And I'll get into that in a later video. It's how to use FedEx's capacity management to better your opportunities. We roll. We don't sit very often, except for when recently Texas has been sticking us, so we're kind of iffy about going back to Texas right now. Certain times of the year, like last year, we were in and out of there. We only got stuck one time, but we got stuck in Laredo for 5 days. But we took it like a vacation. You know, it was really nice in Laredo, a beautiful, beautiful little town. And right now I don't want to be in Laredo because of what's going on. We're kind of like iffy on Texas. Now, Florida is another place hard to get out of, but this time of year, the way the weather is, if I can get a damn Florida run, guess where I'm going? I'm going to Florida. But that's how we pick our loads and how we choose which loads we pick. If we don't have to go anywhere and the weight's too much, then we don't even worry about the rest of the stuff. But the weight isn't the main factor, and it's not the only factor. So, but anyway, all right, y'all just enjoy the ride out here in the country.
Can't find my way now. I just need you by my side. Lately, I've been thinking, baby, we could get away. never